Injury news, squad update ahead of the Oldham game?
Well, we've got the suspended lads back in the squad. Tom Davis is available again. So we should, we will lose Campbell Manneman with concussion. Joe Murphy is back in the squad again. He's trained today and yesterday, so he's back in the group again. So yeah, back towards a full quarter again.
And Callum McDonald and Kieran Morris in particular, how important is it to have them two back from suspension for the last two games?
Yeah, very. I think we would have to say arguably they were probably the best or better players in the group. So it's good that we've got the influencers back in the group again for us. So yeah, it's massively important that they're back and available and looking good.
I just wanted to ask you, Micky, on a comment that you said after the game on Saturday, when you said that the fight and the fire wasn't there. Have you been able to pinpoint why that was?
It's a player's responsibility to turn up and fight for whatever he does in the game for the team. It's his responsibility to do that. The manager can speak about it before the game, which we do, and the coaching staff do, and tell people that you have to compete in a game of football. And then, from my experience as being a player and a manager, then the player crosses the white line, and that's what you're expected to do. You're expected to run, fight, and show fire and commitment to trying to make an impact in the game with what the qualities are that you bring to the team. Not enough did that on pretty much a lot of the away games. We did it in the home games, but we've struggled to do it in the away games, which I have never ever thrown people under the bus, as they call it. I've never did that, never. But there's got to come a time where people's got to stand up and be counted, and I understand as a player it was my responsibility to get out in a game of football and run and fight for loose balls and fight to make an impact in the game. Understand that I would get disappointed at times, absolutely, but you have to find the character to keep going and find a way, and we've not been good enough at that. And that's what I was talking about at the end of the game. That was it. People can argue with that all they want, but I'll put 650 games as a manager and about 600 as a footballer and tell you that that's the way it must work. That's the way it is. I'll go against anybody with that. And we haven't shown enough of that. And we didn't show enough of it on Saturday. We didn't win enough first contacts. We didn't win enough loose ball. We didn't match the running. And then people will say, as I understand, they'll probably say, well, what have you done in that, Micky? Did you tell them that? Yeah. None of the players could say that we didn't speak about it before the game. None of the players could say that we didn't speak about it at half-time. So that's what I meant at the end of the game. That's what was so disappointing, because that should be a given for any athlete, footballer, to turn up. One, you get paid to turn up. Two, you get turned up to fight for the jersey and fight for the result. And three, on top of that, if we get a brilliant performance out of you, you would take that as at very minimum as a bonus. But the other two, you expect to happen, and we didn't get that on Saturday. And that's what we've spoke about ever since. But it's been in too many away games now. Too many away games, too many disappointed buses on the way home. And that's the very reason why. I'll just give you the reasons why. And the players at home, no problem. I have to take personal responsibility, as I did as a player. You have to get out there, and it's up to you to go and make sure that you deliver on these things.
And Jay Spearing, after the game as well, he called it unacceptable.
Well, he's the display. You don't have to ask him that. You don't have to ask him to do that. You don't have to ask him to turn up and show enthusiasm for a game of football and enthusiasm for the challenges that it flings to you. You don't have to ask Clark that. You don't have to ask them. You don't have to ask Lewis Warrington's 19 to do that. But too many are found wanting. And Jay Spearing showed the same bewilderment. He was baffled the same as me as to why you wouldn't turn up and fight. And that's what you probably got at the end of the game. I haven't seen his interview. I haven't seen it. But that's, I imagine that's what you touched upon, because that's the type of player, the type of career he's had is because of, first and foremost, he turned up most or every week with the qualities.
But moving on from the Stevenage game, Micky, I know you've said before that you can't control what other teams do, and you're correct in that. But how do you view the situation after Sutton and Mansfield's wins on Tuesday?
Can't do nothing about it. All I can do is try and educate the players on what's needed in games of football from the weekend and previous games, move on to practice that during the week, speak to them, show them DVDs, videos, whatever it is now that we do it on the grass, try and create that intensity that's needed so that they're used to that, that when they hit the ground on a Saturday afternoon or a Tuesday evening, they're used to the intensity that we should work at. And that's what we'll continue to do. We did it all week, we did it today, we'll do it tomorrow, and we'll expect to do it on Saturday. And then we'll try and take care of business, and we'll just keep going. And that's what you're expected to do, and that's what we'll continue to do.
I suppose it is a case of just doing what you can, isn't it? I know 4 points off the playoffs with 2 games to go. Is there an element of frustration in that, the situation it looks out of your hands in terms of getting in?
No. Listen, you get what you deserve in football, and it doesn't lie. And if the teams at the top are the ones that showed a greater level of consistency or the qualities that's needed in order to be a successful team. Over my career as a manager, I'm fed up with people saying, oh, if onlys and ifs and whats and buts. Everybody plays 46 games, and over the course of 46 games, you'll have to show the qualities that's needed to be successful. I've been successful here at Tranmere and at many of my football clubs. And if we, at the end of the day, end up where we end up, it's because we haven't been good enough over 46 games to show the qualities that's necessary that your Forest Greens have done. Congratulations to them. Exeter have done over the course of 46 games, and not just in moments, and showed the enthusiasm and the qualities I've just spoke about there at the early part of the interview. They've showed the qualities that was needed in order to win games of football, and every credit to them for that. Maybe we'll need to take care of our own business now and continue with things, and hopefully the players will learn, because that is a young group. There's a lot of young players in there, both in terms of experience or age. But that's the requirements of being successful. So frustrated, yeah, because I want to win every game I play in. I take part in as a coach, a manager, and I always want to be successful. So I want to win on Saturday, and I will just continue to keep trying to do that. And
as I say, all you can do now is win your own game, starting with Oldham. What's it like facing a club in the situation they're in, and also in effect, is the pressure off them? Is there no pressure on them now going into this game?
I don't know. You need to ask them that. I don't know. Always, I mean, I've got enough on my plate at the minute to try and control what we do without thinking about everybody else at the minute. So we've worked hard on us, being us, which when we are the best version of us, we're a match for anybody in the league. So we'll concentrate on doing that. So we'll try and get ourselves back to a version of ourselves which is acceptable. So we will do that at the weekend.
And final home game of the season, Micky, have you got a message for the fans going into the game, just with it being the final home game of the season?
Oh, well, they've been terrific. They certainly haven't dropped their levels or standards this season, and have always been there for us. And we always appreciate the support that they give us. We needed to match that in numerous times away from home this season, and we didn't do that. So their support has always been very valuable to us. It's a very supporter-driven football club, and I can speak for myself and say how grateful we are for that, and we continue to work hard to try and keep building towards that team that we all want to see performing.
And last question from me, Micky. Peter Clark in the League Two Team of the Year, Team of the Season. Your reaction to that? He's been a stalwart at the back.
Yeah, terrific. 40-year-old getting into that is quite unbelievable. I don't know if there's ever been another one. 40-year-old, I mean. Terrific that he's been able to achieve the levels of consistencies that his fellow players or whatever who it is that voted for him or whatever it is have seen the same as what we've seen, which has been a terrific pro all season. So no, every credit him and congratulations for that, and we're really happy for him.